So, hi everyone, and welcome to today's session on Wiki Loves Living Heritage. It's so nice to have you all here. We've had a really busy month at Let's Connect. We've had 5 clinics, so at least one every week. We've had some difficulties, as you'll have noticed, with translation this month because it's been so busy. We're really optimistic that we'll have full translation provision back in November. So thank you so much for bearing with us. It's my job today to do a little introduction. So if I could ask Garana to move the slides on by one. Today's clinic is about Wiki Loves Living Heritage. And if I could ask for the next slide. For those of you who are new to Let's Connect, just to let you know a little bit about us, Let's Connect is a peer learning program that's operated as a joint community foundation initiative. We're all here to have a good time. We like to make people feel comfortable and confident in learning clinics. And we believe that we have something to learn from anyone, no matter what the experience they bring to the table. If I could ask for the next slide, thanks, Garana. Why are we here specifically today? We're here today to familiarize ourselves with Wiki Loves Living Heritage and how it relates to the safeguarding of living heritage. We're here to gain practical knowledge about Wiki Loves Living Heritage, including sharing considerations and the broader role of open content initiatives in promoting global cultural diversity. So to give you an idea of the agenda for today, this is our little check-in session. We say it takes 10 minutes because we like to give 5 minutes for everyone to arrive. We're then going to do a little icebreaker, go through our introduction to Wiki Loves Living Heritage. There will be some discussion, and our plan is to have breakout rooms. I'm cognizant that we're a smaller group today, so it may be that the breakout rooms take a slightly different format. Susanna and Sadiq will share some examples with us, and we'll have time to reflect as a group on what we've learned today. So with all that in mind, I'm going to hand over to Garana, who will introduce our icebreaker, and I'll be there in the chat for you sharing links and answering questions. So take it away, Garana.
Thank you very much, Lucy, and thank you everyone for coming here today. So my name is Gorana Gumirac. I'm Global Manager at Wikimedia Serbia, but also a licensed for C region at the Let's Connect working group. It is really amazing to have Susanna and Sadiq here today with us to tell us a little bit more about Wiki Loves Living Heritage campaign and how we can join, why is it important, and how we can improve our intangible cultural heritage on Wikimedia projects, which is a very important topic for everyone, but especially for people who are working within the GLAM and cultural programs. Before we start talking about that, let's take a moment to think about, to imagine ourselves as superheroes. And let me ask you a question. If you were a superhero, which power would you like to have? We can think about maybe in a way how to prevent maybe intangible cultural heritage if we want to connect with our learning clinic today, but we can think in general as well. For example, I would like to have time management skills if I was a superhero, because I feel a little bit overwhelmed in the last couple of days with everything. But I think that we all need superpowers sometimes. You can use this Jamboard to write your answers. I will start with time management. I mean, it's not a superpower, but something that I really need these days. What about you? Do you have any superpowers you would like to have?
Oh, I think we cannot edit. I think it's only view. It's not shared.
I'll just check the permissions on the document.
Yeah. Oh, now we can share. Just a second. Here is a new link.
That is the superpower wish. I wish to be able to edit this Google document. We've granted your superpower. There you go. We make miracles.
If we had powers, it would be not having technical issues while
Yes.
holding a Zoom meeting.
Yes, that would be wonderful. I would like the superpower to make Google permissions easy because I never managed to do them right. That would be my superpower. Or talking to cats. That's my other one.
For those people who have just joined, thank you for coming. We are in the Jamboard talking about superpowers we would like to have. This is an icebreaker for today. So we have some interesting superpowers like time management, which seems impossible. We have be able to talk to cats. Oh God, I love cats. And there are so many cats in the Wikimedia movement. I'm impressed by that fact.
Lots of them.
We have time control. Okay, that's interesting.
Oh.
Who puts that? Do you want to open your mic, maybe? Does anyone else want to share? Oh, sorry.
So I wanted to also talk about time management, but because it's already there, I basically want to control time. There are times that like you are traveling and you are late, you are rushing to the airport and you wish you could just hold back time and just get to the place. So that's basically what I was trying to say. But yeah, it's also connected to time management, but I really wish I could just hold down time sometimes. So it doesn't, yeah.
That would be a good superpower, actually. That would be very, very good. But let's think about in terms of cultural heritage. Do we need any superpower there? Maybe. What do you think? It would be really amazing to, for example, if the intangible cultural heritage was preserved by like the long time ago, because I think that many of intangible cultural heritage is unfortunately lost. And it would be amazing to know a little bit more about that. But we can preserve the intangible cultural heritage we have today, which is amazing. Okay, now we have to have multiple copies. Oh, that would be amazing as well. And imagination. What do you think about imagination? That's interesting.
That was me. I'm so data-driven that I would really, really like us to be able to in this data and knowledge environment, to tap into imagination and art and expression more. But it's a difficult one. And maybe I started to think about it when I needed more imagination to come up with with what superpower I would need. Not that I have them all, but I couldn't think of one.
Sometimes it's a bit, but it's very interesting. Thank you, Susanna, for that. We also have to understand all languages. Oh, that would be amazing to have and to know. But we wouldn't need our translator today, as we have in Spanish and Portuguese. So if you need an interpretation to those languages, please make sure to go to the globe icon. And we have one more, make everyone immediately understand the advantages of freely licensed content. Oh, yes, that would be amazing. That sounds, that's something that is very difficult to achieve, unfortunately. Okay, so I think we had some great ideas today. It would be amazing to understand the languages, to talk to cats, to control time, to have better time management. But on some of those things we can work on and maybe achieve these superpowers. So thank you everyone for sharing your maybe wishes today. We will now go to slides that Susanna will present. And please, if you have any questions during our session today, go to Jamboard, go to slide, to the next slide, to slide number 2. you can see on the left side of the screen, you can write what is an interesting part of the Wiki Loves Living Heritage. And on the right side of the screen, you can ask questions to our sharers today. Of course, you can use the chat as well. So if anything is that you would like to share, please feel free to do so. I'm giving my word to Susanna, and enjoy this session today.
Thank you, Gorana. And here we go. So this year, we have been working on this Wiki Loves Living Heritage project. And it was initiated by Avonglam and the European Network of Focal Points for the UNESCO Convention for the Safeguarding of Living Intangible Cultural Heritage. It's a very, very long name. And the idea came rather late last year, so it has been happening gradually and snowballing gradually and finding its way between existing projects in the Wikimedia environment. So our team grew with Sadiq in the spring, who started as a communications manager for the project. And the idea with this is centered around the anniversary of the Living Heritage, the convention, the UNESCO convention, the 20th anniversary of the convention. So the basic idea here, maybe we can go to the next slide, is to bring together Wikimedia affiliates around the world with these focal points. Focal Point is an organization that manages this inventory and the safeguarding of living heritage in each country, in each member state of the convention. And there are these organizations may be governmental or they may be NGOs, but nevertheless, they all are obliged to inventory the living heritage, the intangible cultural heritage forms in the area of the country. And each year, some of these elements from different countries are accepted as to become part of this UNESCO lists of intangible cultural heritage. So in a way, we are dealing with a huge amount of forms of what living heritage is. Its stories, its traditions, its practices, crafts, as things that people do and live together with. And so in a way, it's all the time moving and changing and living with the people. And it's something that's passed on from the previous generations, that's living in today, and it's passed on to future generations. Not always so. So an important part of this is that there are many endangered forms of living heritage. And the idea was also to then use the superpowers of Wikimedia environment to safeguard living heritage, and this is documentation and visibility. That is what we started with. I think the partners are very attracted to the photograph contests that take place in the Wikimedia environment, and therefore I think it's also a very well-known format for activities. So there were many photo contests organized in this program. But the idea is that as a project, we don't dictate what the formats are, what the collaborations are, but these new friends, the Wikimedia affiliates and the focal points, they come together and they maybe pick up something that they are working on already. Wikimedians bring their superpowers to the focal points, and the focal points bring their superpowers to Wikimedia. And then there may be the new formats arising from these interactions, or just existing formats advocated and promoted. Just a second, I'm losing my slides. Here. Okay, let's go forward. Here you see I have made this slide to illustrate the coming together of the different organizations. And I might have mentioned already that there are just about the same amount of member states and focal points as there are Wikimedia organizations. It's around 180 of each. We have been, there have been activities in Wiki Loves Living Heritage in several countries, not at all in 180. But the idea is that well, this year we are focusing, because of the anniversary, we are focusing especially on these member states of the UNESCO Convention. But the idea of living heritage is spread around across borders and into countries and regions not defined by borders. So I think in the years to come, it will not be limited or like so strictly corresponding to the member states. So next slide, please. So actually, this slide is also talking about the same things, that there are activities that happen locally, that the heritage organizations are already working with and working together with the heritage communities. And the role of the communities is very important in this whole project, because in a way we are dealing with very sensitive information. We are recording practices that living people work on. So there are sensitive issues related to these. One of them is personal information, that we are showing the identity of people, and we have to be very, very careful with that. But then there are also community ownership of these traditions, and I'll come back to that later. But these are the yes, please go ahead to the next slide. And this illustrates the variety of things that have been happening during the year. As I mentioned, many photo contests have been organized, but one specific activity is also the webinar on the ethics of open sharing. Let me see if I do have a slide about that, so let's go forward. And so the biggest, let's say the biggest, I think most Wikimedians encountered this photo contest this year. It was organized during Wikimedia in Singapore as a collaboration between the Wikimania organizers and the Singaporean organizations, as you might be aware, the winners were announced in the final ceremonies at Wikimania. And I think it's, to me, it seems that having many different formats and many different contests happening in different places is also a positive way of finding your own ways of organizing around the activities that you are working with. So one important point, next point is the data. So next slide, please. Yeah, so as I mentioned, the the UNESCO lists, they hold about 700, a little bit less, items from all over the world. And then all of these countries manage their own inventories with items that can be thousands. And there is no single register for all of these. But Wikimedia projects could be such a register of these traditions around the world. Here you can see that we can, when we bring data about these elements into Wikidata and give some basic information about them, we can illustrate them in these pages, the project pages. Wikimedia projects are handy in that way, that every single bit of text here has a lot of data in it. So when you click on a link, you will be directed to the website, or that you can upload a picture, or you can find images related to that topic. So lots of things can be done with a tiny amount of data. And so let's go forward. This one illustrates this picture illustrates the upload campaign that we have created. As you saw maybe in the previous picture, maybe we can even peek in there again. You see these upload image buttons. So now we go back like as if we clicked on it. So it brings, as you know, in photo contests, you have different links that bring you to the upload campaigns. But when we have data about the heritage elements, that the images that are being uploaded, which they relate to, then we are also able to create, bring this data into the structured data on Commons, as well as displayed in the information template. And I don't have a clock here, so what time is it now?
You have another 7 minutes, Susanna, before we...
Okay, let's go forward then. But yeah, and categorizing and everything. So yeah, we can go forward. So one of the nice things that we have tried this year, but we probably would like to develop further in the coming years, is that we can create language or like, let's say, resource pages, the pages that are not Wikipedia articles, like resource pages on Meta in this project website. And what we could have there, we have tested this already with some of these. We could have the data from Wikidata, we could have a collection of images, we could like grab some texts, introductory texts from some websites, so that others could, in different languages, could make use of them. And then there are these automated links to, well, like a language links that you can see in which languages like an article exists about this topic, and you could click also your way to translate that article. Also, I would like to be able to collect source references, as you see in the end, automatically from different languages, so that they could be used in all other languages. So that's being tested, but it's not being used. So we are planning to work on it later. Let's go forward. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we with this kind of information, we are dealing with ethical questions. And together with Creative Commons, we arranged a webinar on this topic in the spring. What we could do on Wikimedia projects is continue that upload, like work more on this upload process, defining the questions and the ways in which we ask for consent. Has this person been asked for permission to share their like personal appearance? Or actually, it could also be that the tradition itself may be sensitive to share. It could be secret or sacred, and that it should not be shared, or that it could be shared, but with a note that that you should be aware of these sensitivities. And we have, well, as you saw maybe in the previous slide, that there's a like elementary consent process already in place, but we could develop it further, and we could also add different kinds of labeling, as we tried with local context, traditional knowledge labels. Just recently, we have many different things. So I hope that I'm not confusing you, but thinking about the ways in which we can find space between protected and completely open also in the Wikimedia environment, which is very contrary to how we have been working previously. Right. So a couple of more minutes, and I'll just mention briefly in the next slide that that we have different we publish. There's a possibility of publishing instructions, how-tos, blog posts, or experiences from these projects for others to learn. And as this website, which is a meta website, has all this information related to that, it's becoming kind of its own resource about living heritage, and that continues to evolve over the years. I hope it's not going to get outdated. But then again, like a couple of minutes for Sadiq to tell about what kind of things could be done locally. Sadiq, please.
Hello, can everyone hear me? Okay, great. Hi, my name is Sadiq Shahadu, currently speaking from Tamale, Ghana. Nice to have all of you here. Thank you so much for the presentation, Susanna. So going forward, we are currently collaborating with several affiliates. We started with Ghana, and in Ghana we have the Dagban Wikimedians user group, who have expressed interest in being part of this initiative, together with Mori Wikimedia Community, Dagari Wikimedia Community, Kusal, and also the Ghanaian Pidgin language. So several Wikimedia communities and Dagban Wikimedia affiliates user group are very excited about this initiative. And as it is now, we have in the past organized similar projects, and we'll be talking more about the connection between what we are doing as a community and what Wiki Loves Living Heritage seeks to achieve with the ICH, or adding more inventory to the Ghana data set, and also like how can we collaborate, how can we connect Wikimedia projects to Wiki Loves Living Heritage, and also the UNESCO country organization. How can we also collaborate with several other countries within Africa and beyond to be able to safeguard our living heritage? In the past, we've been involved in like organizing initiatives like Wiki Loves Folklore, Wiki Loves Monument, and Wiki Loves Africa, which has similar connection, which we'll be talking about more. And so that in Ghana, this coming Saturday, we are planning to host our first ever Wiki Loves Living Heritage event in Tamale with the Dagban Wikimedia communities, Wikimedia community and its sister affiliate communities. And then as part of the launch, we'll also be collaborating with the National Folklore Board, who are doing very much like in relation to like data collection, and also like supporting people to be able to contribute data to their platform. And I'm sure Susanna would be able to share with us the inventory for Ghana as she started adding, and with the help of Bernice, I think Bernice is on this call, we're able to get some few information from the National Folklore Board, and then we added that to the Ghana page on our meta page, which we usually call the website. And yeah, so this is what is happening. I'm very excited to be working with the Dagwan Wikimedia and user group as also a member of the community. We plan to like have the lunch, and then what other activities somebody will be asking. Is there any other specific activities that we'll be doing apart from the lunch? So moving forward after the lunch, we'll be organizing like something that looks similar to what they did in Wikimedia, like photo contest, and also like we'll be organizing technical training for people who want to. We import a lot of data using quick statement and other stuff like that. We want to get the community to be familiar with ICH, and also they will be able to understand what living heritage is. And also not just capturing images and uploading them to Wikimedia Commons or running a photographic contest. We also want to help them, like, as you see on the page, every entry has its own like Wikidata item, Wikimedia Commons category, Wikipedia article, and several other resources that connects to the particular item together. So we want to be able to like train more people to contribute effectively to the program. And the Dagwan community, as I said, they already have experience like organizing photo competitions, but now they are going to be introduced to a whole new set of like ideas on how they can safeguard living heritage and also participate in the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the UNESCO convention. So this is the plan that we have, which is happening this coming Saturday in Tamale from 9 a.m. to midday, around 12 to 1 o'clock, hopefully. And then after the lunch, we are going to have like a series of online activities to engage other communities. We want to do that with, several other affiliates that are not already participating, like the communities in West Africa, Nigeria, and Benin, Burkina Faso, and the likes. What we also want to do is the collaboration aspect. We want to help people to understand what living heritage is and the importance of using Wikimedia tools to safeguard our living heritage. And then at the same time, involving stakeholders like the National Folklore Board that Aunt Bernice currently leads. She's the executive director for the National Folklore Board, and she has a lot of information and experience working with external organizations that are working to like safeguard our living heritage. So I'm sure she will have a word to say later, since she's already on the call. And yeah, so basically this is all that we are planning for the event in Ghana on Saturday, and I'll have more to share in the main room. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Susanna. Thank you, Sadiq, very much. Susanna, did you want to add something? Okay. Well, it's always amazing to me to hear about campaigns like this because they involve so many elements, from like data to combination of multiple Wikimedia projects, but also collaborations and partnerships with other institutions outside of the Wikimedia movement, Wikimedia world as well, but also cooperation between Wikimedia affiliates throughout the world, which is really amazing to see and hear. So thank you very much for sharing, for introducing Wiki Loves Living Heritage to us, and for showing us why is that important. We will have a lot of discussions today because we would really like to talk more about this campaign. We would like to get to some maybe new ideas, to see how you can contribute, how you can organize activities around Wiki Loves Living Heritage, maybe for the next year. I think it's the right time to start preparing for the next year as well. So we can also talk about your examples from your countries, from your projects and affiliates, and how do you handle with living heritage today. So now we'll divide into 2 breakout rooms to this. Yes, thank you very much, Lucy, for that, and thank you everyone for participating in the breakout rooms discussion. It was very interesting to hear some of your challenges and some of the ways you participate. I'm looking forward to continue our discussion in the breakout session number 2, and I'm sure we have a lot of things to talk more about. In the next part of our learning clinic today, we will have some practical examples on how it can look like in your community as well, but also how does it look like now in some of the communities and affiliates around the world. So I'm giving my word to Sadiq that will tell us his example and what are they planning to do, how did they join, and what is their story. Sadiq, you can join us.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
loud and clear.
Okay. So welcome back again. As I mentioned in my earlier presentation, we are organizing an event in Ghana to help our community be more involved in the Wiki Loves Living Heritage project, and we also have planned collaboration with several other Wikimedia communities which are connected to the affiliates, the Wikimedia and user group, and then the opportunity to collaborate with other stakeholders in Ghana is one of the things that I would like to highlight more, and the kind of challenges that we foresee and how everyone here can be involved in the Wiki Loves Living Heritage project. So the capacity, the issue for partnership, and how we can help community members to collaborate or just connect them to partner organizations to be able to organize Wiki Loves Living Heritage projects. Basically what I will be sharing with you, and the limitations and how you can overcome them. So the partnership, as I said, we are currently collaborating with the National Folklore Board, who are working so hard to contribute elements to the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage. And then we are also looking at collaborating with other institutions, stakeholders, like the not Wikimedia specific, but the country offices of the UNESCO. We are talking with the UNESCO Ghana office to see how best we can collaborate with them in terms of having the support or backing from the office, and also they connecting us to the resources that can be very useful to this project. We also do have communities that are working on Wikimedia photo competitions, like the Wiki Loves Folklore I mentioned, and like the Durban Wikimedians for some time now have been organizing Wiki Loves Folklore. There's also a Global Open Initiative who are also involved in organizing Wiki Loves Folklore campaigns. So we want to bring all of them together to be able to collaborate and organize campaigns. What kind of activities can they organize? We are talking about photo competitions, like what happened in Singapore and Norway and other parts of Europe. We are also looking at organizing workshops to help them understand how they can add elements to the page and contribute content from Ghana, like we have on the Ghana page, and then how they can edit Wikidata, how they can use tools like Quick Statement and Open Refine, and then generally the understand of living heritage and what is considered living heritage and what is not, and also how they can understand the different license terms, the kind of content that is permissible to be uploaded on Wikimedia Commons, what are the guidelines, and what kind of material they can contribute to the project. And we also envisioned that moving forward, there will be other activities which I cannot say for now, but I see there will be a lot of activities happening beside just having photo competitions and the likes. And I also mentioned that we are working to collaborate with existing Wikimedia projects like Wiki Loves Folklore, Wiki Loves Africa, Wiki Loves Earth, and Wiki Loves Monument, and the like. So depend on where there's connection or where there can be like collaboration, we'll be able to like figure out what kind of contribution can we make to their project, or what can they learn from us, or we can learn from them. And then as a community, now I'm speaking on behalf of the communities that I am involved in. So how can Dagbani Wikimedians also collaborate with, let's say, Wikimedia Nigeria or other Wikimedia affiliate within West Africa region, within the West Africa region, to organize campaigns together? It's all about like collaboration. It's about like bringing Wikimedians together to contribute content to Wiki Loves Living Heritage. Borana, how many minutes do I have for this?
Sorry, I was muted. You have 3 more minutes.
Okay, so do I just go ahead with the rest of the points, or you have questions for me? Yes, okay. So the launch is this coming Saturday, 28th October. And as I mentioned, it's going to be like a workshop and an official launch of Wiki Loves Living Heritage in Ghana. This will be the first of its kind. And I'm very excited about that. And I look forward to like engaging more people at the Dagbani Wikimedia community, and also sharing more about success stories, like other events that are that we have collaborated with, and also like the campaign that has happened within this year, and also the next steps. Yeah, do I have any slides left? Okay, so this is the flyer. And if you are within Ghana, I know there are some participants from Ghana. If you are interested in being part of the event, you can just go ahead and register to be part of the event in Tamale, which will be starting at 9 a.m. Yeah. And then somebody may also be asking questions about how they can be involved in. So the next slide, already, as I mentioned, we have participating committees like the Dagbani Wikimedia Committee, which is also like an affiliate of the Wikimedia Foundation, and its sister projects or sister communities like the Brunei Wikimedia Community. Majority of the Brunei Wikimedia communities are in the Upper East region, and then we have Mori Wikimedia Committee, largely spoken in Burkina Faso. So hopefully we'll be able to engage like Mori speakers in Burkina Faso, not just Ghana. And then we have the Dagari Wikimedia Committee in the Upper West region. Dagari is one of the sister projects of the Dagbani, or the Mabia language, which is also like called the Moli Dagbani languages. And then we have the Pusal, also spoken in the Upper East region. So these are the communities that have expressed interest in being part of the initiative, and we are very happy to have them, and we look forward to collaborating with more other communities. There's also like interest coming from the Ghanaian Pidgin Wikimedia community, and I just heard Bukola mentioned that they will also be interested in organizing. We are very excited about that, and we look forward to collaborating with you all. So how can your community be involved? Do you have any existing project that you are currently organizing? As I said, we are not so much different from what you are already familiar with. So how can we help you organize or just build on what you are already doing in your community? So if you are also interested in, learning about, data, Wikidata, you want to learn about the technical side of Wikidata, like open refine and quick statement, I think this project will be an opportunity for you to learn how you can refine data and contribute data to Wiki Loves Living Heritage, or contribute elements to the Wiki Loves Living Heritage project for your country. And then what activities can you organize? I think most of the activities, as I said, are going to be centered around photographic campaigns and workshops, training, and teaching people how they can contribute to Wikipedia and Wikidata, and then the general understanding of living heritage, and how they can contribute content from their communities, and also what are the limitations, the restrictions as far as contributing content to Wiki Loves Living Heritage is concerned. So as we mentioned, we've organized the ethical sharing workshop that was focused on like introducing people to the kind of project that we do and some of the limitations in terms of what is considered sacred or secret. What can they contribute to Wiki Loves Living Heritage? Are there restrictions to that? Is there anything that the community can help them do in terms of like having the clarification of what they can contribute to their project? And if even they have like challenge with what they understand of what they can contribute to, I think the community all together will be more than happy to like help them understand different kinds of line systems like the Creative Commons licenses and how they can, you know, contribute content by paying attention to some of these line systems and the general understanding of Creative Commons licenses. And so if you ask me what can we do as a community, I think there are so many things you can do. And the closest thing I can say is like organizing a photo competition to contribute content or photographic content, audiovisuals to living heritage around your region. Yeah, basically. And there are other questions from community members within, I think, Africa about how different it is from like Wiki Loves Living Heritage. It is from the other campaigns that they are already organizing in their communities, like Wiki Loves Folklore. So if you look at the page closely, you realize that even though the content that we contribute in terms of like photographic content are very much similar to what Wiki Loves Folklore seeks to achieve. And as I said, we are doing this in collaboration and with many other Wikimedia communities who are already organizing Wiki Loves Folklore and Wiki Loves Monument. So there's basically nothing new in the campaign, just the fact that we are adding inventories and UNESCO paying attention to countries that are part of the UNESCO list is maybe thing that you would want to learn more about, and also the collaboration with not formal collaboration with UNESCO headquarters, but how you can work with your local country office of UNESCO and let's say organizations like or institutions like the Folklore Board in Ghana. I know there are similar other institutions in different parts of Africa or regions that work directly to support living heritage like this. So yeah, these are other things that I would like to share with you. And what else?
I was wondering if we might also show what's happening in the north, in Norway. At least, what do you think, Sadiq? May I jump in?
Yes. I think that's the next thing. Yeah.
That is amazing.
Thanks a lot. I mean, it's amazing what's happening. And it's amazing what's waiting to happen. Also, the connections that are taking place. I wanted to. I asked Elizabeth. Now I can't remember her last name. From Norway, to record a video about what they have done. What she's saying actually is that this campaign has been really useful for them in launching different kinds of partnerships, and it's kick-started this. And I will now find my way to the video that she has prepared. Let's see.
You want me to?
Sorry, I'm just about to find it here. Can you see it? I'm playing it right now. Oops. Yes. There.
Hi, I'm Elisabeth Carrera from Wikimedia Norway, and I'm here to tell you very briefly about our Wiki Loves Living Heritage campaign. The campaign was a collaboration with Arts and Culture Norway, the Norwegian national focal point. And what you see here in the corner is one of the first things we did. We set up an Instagram feed, and whenever someone posts a photo with the tag Living Heritage, their post will automatically be fed into our feed, which is embedded in our website. So it's been an easy way of creating dynamic content that shows off the spectre of living heritage in Norway and Sápmi. Of course, this is also a way for Arts and Culture Norway's info department to distribute their materials, and we can pin entries or posts to the top of the feed whenever we like. So this one image here of a woman weaving is one of our posts that we're marketing on top of the feed. We made a point of showing off different sides of living heritage, from drying stockfish to Norwegian black metal, which is also part of our living heritage. We've had 3 target audiences for our campaign: the general public, Wikipedians, of course, that have spent a lot of time on content and wiki facilitation, and partners, mainly cultural heritage organizations. One of our most successful activities has been our photo contest, Cultural Heritage 2023. That was a really good way of getting visitors to our website to read about living heritage. And the photo contest info has had 38,500 page views so far, which is an all-time high for our website. There have only been 550 image uploads. Well, Norway is a small country, and out of those, 100 were of living heritage. The photo contest is a partnership with the Norwegian organizer of the European Cultural Heritage Days, and I firmly believe that if we do the same next year, the number of images will grow. There are an awful lot of interesting things going on at the Heritage Days events, and there's a lot of photo documentation about. So we just need ways of reaching out to people and harvest all of that useful material. When it comes to our Wikipedians working hard at producing content about living heritage, well, so far, 54 new articles have been created, a total of 864 edits. So there's been quite a lot of activity, even though this part of the campaign has only involved about 15 Wikipedians. We reached a wider audience in our writing contest in September, which is something we do every month on the Norwegian bokmål Wikipedia. But entries are also accepted from Norwegian Nynorsk, from Northern Sami, and from Indre Sami Wikipedians. So an additional 67 articles were created. This contest also combined monuments and living heritage, so not all of those articles were about living heritage. But it's still a good way of getting info out there, making people aware what is living heritage. When we communicate with partners, we try to illustrate how much info on the open internet is harvested from the Wikimedia projects. So in this case, a Google search, and this is content generated from Wikimedia projects: Commons, Wikidata, Wikipedia. And Wikidata, of course, the brain of it all. So we've spent quite a lot of effort in the campaign working on Wikidata elements. This is the Norwegian ICA website, where, well, the inventory for living heritage in Norway, and maintained by the Norwegian Focal Point. And it's a really good website with a lot of useful material, but without the reach you get from adding material to the Wikimedia projects. So if we look at Norwegian and Sami Wikipedias, in 2022 we had 789 million page views, which is quite a lot considering our tiny population. So living heritage info gets a wide audience by adding it to the Wikimedia projects. So that's some of what we've been doing, and I think moving forward we have such a lot of budding partnerships coming out of this campaign. So even though we'll end the campaign formally in December, I think a lot of the work we've been doing will be continued in the years to come. Good luck with your campaigns.
Thank you, Elizabeth, although you can't hear me right now. So, over to you, Gorana. Lead the way. If I have time, I can show things. on how the materials are displayed online, but tell me how much time I might have for that.
Well, we are actually 6 minutes over the time, so
I know.
Yeah, but maybe we can go through that after the breakout rooms when we time manage a little bit what we can do, what we cannot.
Do you think I could show first a little about how it's shown, because then we understand a little bit better what we are going to talk about.
Okay,
but
then
I won't use as much time as I had planned. So Sadiq, we were planning to make the event announcement for the Saturday event, but I think we will do that later. But I will show the website if possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a second.
I also see a question, and I think maybe we can answer that after the breakout. So, Gorana, over to you.
Yeah, so Susanna can start screen sharing and show us like the short demo of how to add an event, and then we will separate into breakout rooms.
Yeah, I will not show adding the event, but I will show the website in general, so that you will get an understanding of how things come together. So Wiki Loves Living Heritage lives on Meta, the Wikimedia Meta, not the other Meta, and it has pages there, and this is the starting page. Maybe somebody can paste the link to the main page in the chat. So there are different sections in there. There's a welcome page, introduction page, and Bukola already pasted shared this join link. And here on the Living Heritage Around the World subpage, you will see displays of all the elements, which are then displayed by UNESCO lists, and then the national and other inventories, and then by country. And what I now want to especially show you is the wiki work page. And it is something that you can return to afterwards as well. So under this join tab, you have the wiki work sub-page. So here you have things that can be done within this environment. And I will not go into detail because that's too much at this point, but maybe I'll go through the topics on the headers. So you can explore the inventories and elements, as I showed you, and there you can click on the different links and find out ways to enter articles and comments and such. And on each of the pages, there is a possibility to add translations and images, and that I will show you. And there are other things as well. You can add individual elements using these cradle forms. I wonder if you have heard about them. This is how to add data to Wikidata. They are forms like this, but you can explore them on your own. I just told you that they are these forms and other things. This is quite a lot, so I'm not going to go through all of them. But as I mentioned, that there is this is the most, let's say, low threshold thing to do, is to do some translations. And when you go to these pages with Living Heritage Around the World, and you can, for example, choose your country. And if somebody opens a mic and if I hear, then we could take one of the countries, Ivory Coast. I wonder if there's anything there. I know that the inventory hasn't been added, but there are UNESCO elements, and there are some things that somebody, maybe me, has decided that this is something interesting, living heritage from that country, and that can also be added. It doesn't need to be on any official list. So what I wanted to show you is that at the end of each page, there are these gray boxes. And there you have, in the middle, in the bottom, edit or translate many elements. So when you click on this simple list, you will enter a form like this. You need to, I'm sorry for the Finnish, but you need to log in first, otherwise you will not be able to. I have to go back to this page where I was. That was okay. Here, so I can start translating these names. Maybe I'll show it in English. Names of these, the labels of these heritage elements and the descriptions into your language or other languages. You can add as many as possible. And then you can also use this to add images. And here you can see, for example, there are images in most of these. Oh, Zuglu, that doesn't have one. Oh, it's a music genre. It's difficult to have an image, and so on. But this is my short. It's not an introduction because it's so short, but a peek into the site, the meta pages. So I stop sharing and we can go forward. Thanks.
Thank you, Susanna. It's very important to see all of this because it's something new that is being added to like meta pages, and it's not the usual way we add it. So thank you very much for the short introduction or showing us how to do that. Now we will have a second breakout room for today. We will be divided by topics. So if you want to talk with me and Sadiq about partnerships, you can stay in the main room. So just do nothing, stay here if you want to talk about partnerships and why are partnership important in campaigns like this. And if you want to talk about data and how we can maybe gather more data, how we can involve that, then go to breakout room 2 with Susanna and Lucy. So breakout room 1 or the main room is about partnerships with me and Sadiq, and the second one is about data and why is it so important to know how to handle data, how to add data, and how to manage it all. Go to the second one.
Thank you, Gorana. I'm just sharing a link to the notes document. Just to reiterate what Gorana said, if you'd like to come and discuss data, the room is now open, so you can join that room. I can see that Francisca's already there. So yeah, if you leave this room, it will be to go to the data session with Susanna and I. If anyone would like to be assigned to that room, let me know and I can facilitate that. We'll only have 10 minutes in this room, and we'll be looking at the questions that are written in the document for each session. I can see we've got 2 people in the data room now. If anyone else, Susanna, I'll send you through so you can get started.
Lucy, please.
I've raised my hand so that I can cover some of the questions in the Q&A that I held for later in the discussion. Some may have been answered in breakout rooms. The first one was from an anonymous participant. Oh, bear with me. Sorry, something started pinging on my phone. The question is, some of these things like photo campaigns may involve financial cost. What are the funding opportunities available for interested organisers to source from? So funding opportunities for photo campaigns and the like. Does anyone have suggestions or answers there? I see Sadiq nodding.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, Susanna will go first.
Okay. We have discussed already with Wikimedia Foundation's rapid grants that it's a completely possible option. There is no automat but if that is a suitable size opportunity, this can be used specifically for local photo campaigns or like campaigns of any kind, because we are of course encouraging all kinds of campaigns, like all kinds of activities, not only photo campaigns. So that should be possible.
Yes. So what we can also try to help with is, for example, Ghana, we will be able to like help them develop their proposal for rapid grant. If you need help with like writing rapid grants for your proposal, I think we'll be able to like support you. This is what we are currently doing with the Ghana community. We'll be helping them. The National Folklore Board requests funding from the foundation in collaboration with the Wikimedia to like implement their project. So we don't have like specific funding available for organizers at the moment, maybe in future, hopefully. But what we can do is to help you, connect you to the Wikimedia Rapid Grant, and also help you with your proposal.
That's great, thank you. We've had a few requests in the chat as well for your email addresses. Susanna has shared hers. I think Sadiq, you shared yours further up in the chat. But if you want to copy and paste that again, if you're comfortable doing it, you don't have to. The other question in the Q&A was from Haliru, asking how can I be part of this campaign, organizing Wiki Loves Heritage in my community? I think this may have been answered in the partnerships breakout, but if there is anything anyone would like to add, please do.
Maybe I'll just briefly say that one can have different approaches. One of them is to start building on the partnerships. And then there is this, maybe the ones that I showed on the on Meta, things that one can do independently without necessarily being part of any specific bigger campaign, because it's a topic. It's not necessarily, you know, that the whole thing is a topic. It's not a project. Oh, it's also a project, but it's not limited to a project.
So I don't know if this is the same question about partnership. I would like to learn more about partnership within Wiki Affiliate. Gorana, is that what you were reading? Did I?
Yeah,
I'm just trying to... Okay.
Yeah, it was very interesting in our group to hear all the experiences from affiliates from like different regions and everything, that we all have the same issues around partnerships and around organizing activities. So it really doesn't matter that much if your communities in Africa, Europe, maybe Latin America. I think we're all facing the same issues around cultural institutions and how much they are open or not open to share their materials with the public, even if you are trying so hard to explain that we are all doing the same thing, but in a different way, and that they need to adapt to modern world. I saw a question in the chat. Can we have the recording? This session is recorded. It will be on the YouTube channel of the Let's Connect, but we will also share the link with all the participants in the next few days. Does anyone have any more questions here?
There's one. Who is the focal point in my country? And we have a page on Wiki Loves Living Heritage meta pages. It's called Contacts. Actually, all pages in Wiki Loves Living Heritage site are on meta.wikimedia.org/wiki/Wiki Loves Living Heritage / the name of the page. So this would be then like the page would be called Contacts. And I'm trying to find it and link it to you. And we have collected all the NGOs and some of the focal points, because there is no list of them. So for each of the institutions, let's say governmental institutions that we have identified the inventory for them, we also have the contact and address of the focal point. But we have better coverage of NGOs than we have of focal points. But we do have all the Wikimedia affiliates for the interest of the focal points. But I'm trying to find a place to link, paste this to there in the meeting chat.
This is so interesting, and I think we could happily discuss a lot of this all evening, but I'm conscious of the time. In order to close out our session, I just want to thank you all for spending these couple of hours with us. I'd like to thank Susanna and Sadiq for sharing their knowledge, sharing their wonderful resources with us. It's just been amazing. It's been really interesting to hear all about what interests people, what motivates you, what you're working on in your countries and your chapters. Garana, is there anything you'd like to add before we move on to the Menti?
I would also like to say thank you to our sharers, but also thank you all for coming today here. I think personally that this topic was very interesting to hear more about, because the campaign is very important for the cultural heritage of the world, but also it is great to hear the perspective of the organizers on a local level, but also on a global level of this campaign and how we can participate. It can also give us some idea on the activities that maybe we can organize, that we can do, that we can start. So it's always amazing to hear from the organizers and to hear about some practical examples, what we should do, what we should not do, and how we can join. Thank you really for sharing. Thank you for participating. I will send you a link of the Mentimeter. Please do fill in the Mentimeter that I just sent in the chat, and we'll see as well. Please help us improve. Tell sharers about their session. Was it useful, or how we can be better? So just please help us fill in the Mentimeter, and you can always reach out to us if you would like to add something. You can reach out to our sharers that have shared their emails. We will have the recordings on our YouTube channels, and we'll send all the materials in the next couple of days.
And you all have 3 minutes now to fill in that Menti. I can see one person's done it already. We just like to see you sharing what you think about the session with us today. So if you have even 2 minutes just now, it's a 2-question Mentimeter. If you can click on that link and give us some feedback, that would be excellent. And it'll help us make our clinics even better going forward. Oh, I've inspired another person. We've had 2 people respond so far. I can see at least 20 here. So yeah, that is the Mentimeter link there. So this is the point in the discussion. It looks like people have really enjoyed this session here, where we can take our microphones off and make some noise, or put our microphones on rather, make some noise and say thank you to our sharers. So thank you once again, Sadiq and Susanna. I'm sure lots of people will be in touch with further questions for you. But yeah, if you'd like to make some noise and show your appreciation, yay!
Thank you all. It was really amazing.
Thank you all for
Thank you
coming.
so much.